What is good, Counter-Strike fans? Welcome back to my 15th episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today, we're going to talk about Blast Rivals 2025 Season 1. And just before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's take a look back at how we did in the last event, which was IME Melbourne, the playoff stage. And we got a top 14, so we're back in double-digit points. And we decided to go with Apex, Flamesy, Shuhi, Nico, and Kixen. Made the decision because I thought Falcons could be the ones to make it to the grand finals alongside Vitality. And my guess was good. So, yeah, we got an amazing grand finals. If you haven't watched it, go watch the highlights. I think the highlights is 2 hours long. Went all 5 maps. I mean, Falcons had 6 match points to win in that final map in Nuke. And I don't know how Vitality did it, but they made that comeback. They went to overtime and Vitality eventually won there. And yeah, I mean, it was Vitality finally were about to lose a match. They, being Vitality and being the best team, maybe one of the greatest teams of all time, just like insane. The way that they have like that tenacity just to, never give up and still make comebacks. I mean, I only got to watch live. I think it was Train and Mirage, so I didn't get to watch that final map. But yeah, go back and watch it. It's like one of the greatest finals of all time. Kind of disappointed with Nico. He didn't really pop off as I thought he would. I mean, he wasn't really the carry. I mean, it was basically a combination of him, Monacy, and Tessis. And I'm kind of disappointed as well on Flamesy. He did me quite poor. But I think in general, this was as close as possible to what the most optimal lineup was. If we take a look at the event overview, you can see Saiwu was the best value for money. Obviously, he's always going to be one of the top ones. Tessis was up there. Monacy, basically just Vitality and Falcons. I mean, everyone but Magisk. And I believe Apex, yep. I think probably the best lineup probably had a combination of like Tessis. I want to say Tessis, Kixan, Messi, and Robs. And then one of the Liquid players like Naf. So we were very close to it. But enough about that. Let's take a look at how I'm doing for the leaderboard. We have gone up a little bit. We're still over 40 points away, so still kind of unlikely. I mean, we only have like 3 major events before, well, 3 fantasy events, I would say, before the major. And then the major will probably be split up around amongst like 3 events. So we only have about 6 events left. 40 points. I think we have to start taking some gambles soon. And I guess for Blast Rivals 25, it's the place where we can take a gamble, I think. So if we take a look at the event, we split up into a group stage and a playoffs, and it's all going to be in one single event. So in Group A, we have Vitality, Wildcard, Mouse, and Pain. The winner of the upper final will get a bye in the semifinals. Second place will be placed as the higher seed in the opposite side of the bracket. And then the third place will be on the same side as the first place team. So that'll be Group A. And then Group B, we Spirit, FlyQuest, FaZe, and Falcons. And I'll show you this, I guess, like how I played out the whole event. So just talking about the first round matchups, Vitality versus Wildcard. Vitality should win that easily. Mouse versus Pain. Mouse should win that easily as well, but Pain do have the upgrade with GDT. And they got Big Sarah back, so they kind of bring in that 9C kind of combo back. In Group B, I have Spirit versus FlyQuest. Another easy win for them. FlyQuest just they got rid of Dexter. And yeah, so that could be an easy one for Spirit. And then FaZe versus Falcons. I think this is the only game that I would say has a higher likelihood of a I mean, Falcons is the favorite, but it has likelihood the underdog winning. Maybe FaZe could do something there. Unlikely, but especially with the form that Falcons is on, and maybe Mouse against Pain as well. It could be the underdog win that, but I have Vitality winning, Mouse winning, and then Spirit and Falcons. I have Vitality winning this upper final, so that we place in the bye against in the semifinals. And in the lower final, I have Pain winning that against Wildcard quite easily. In Group B, Spirit versus Falcons, I'm gonna have Spirit. I think, some time off, maybe hopefully help them, like hopefully be prepared and have better, gameplay, and have better potential of winning this event over Falcons. But it could be 50-50, honestly. This one as well, it could be 50-50. The way that we saw Vitality, they've been getting closer and closer to losing. Like as more recently, like it's kind of crazy to see that. But I'm not too high on Mouse right now, especially how they lost against Falcons and on stage. It was Falcons just basically destroyed them. So I would say that. And then FaZe versus Black Quest should be easily FaZe. So that would set up a playoffs of Falcons and Pain in the quarterfinals. Winner of that will face Vitality, and then Mouse versus FaZe, and winner of that will face Spirit. Here, Falcons should win against Pain quite easily, so they should face Vitality in the semifinals. And Mouse versus FaZe, I have Mouse right here, but I honestly been thinking about putting FaZe maybe up there as well. I mean, if we look at their last matchup, I think FaZe won that, and that was with Broly and IGL, but that was also when Mouse just made that switch over to Brolin and brought Spanx. So I would say this is more of a 50-50, not 50-50, but more like a 60-40. It's not as easy as Falcons versus Pain. And this could be one of the first few times we see FaZe, maybe even the first time we see FaZe on a stage, so maybe the crowd might hype them up and they could maybe make a little bit of a run. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna play it safe, pick Mouse. Vitality versus Falcons, I'm gonna go with Falcons. I think Falcons win here. I think they get their revenge. I think Vitality might be a little bit tired, or like kind of not really focusing on this event as much. I mean, they have IME Dallas next. They don't really need to win that as well because they just completed the Grand Slam already. They might be just taking a couple events off, and they might not be in the top form and as focused, because the final thing they have to accomplish is they have to win the major. They have to win the major. I mean, they've been the best team in the first half by a mile, and then just topping it off with the major basically guarantees them as like one of the best teams ever, and even like they're gonna be like the team of the year, So I don't know if Vitality come in with like full focus. I think I have Falcons beating them, and then Spirit versus Mouse, I think I have Spirit beating them, but Mouse do have a history of beating Spirit quite recently, which will set up Falcons with Spirit, and I think Spirit will win that. But those are just my thoughts, just really quickly, for you to look at that. So with all that in mind, if I'm realistically speaking, and just looking at previous form, Vitality are favorites, but then I would have Spirit, or actually Falcons, Spirit, and then Mouse as three other potentials to win, and then maybe an outside, like a really low chance shot of like FaZe winning that. But now we can take a look at the most picked players for this event, and you can see Kicksan is currently being the most picked player. I mean, the performance he had in the final and then throughout the whole last event as well, it's like he's basically a must-have. So he's been chosen over 60% of the time by teams. So yeah, his price and the money he allows you to save to pick better players is just too good to pass up. You basically have all the Vitality players, Messi and Apex, basically being split, being about 40% both of them. Rob's in about 30%, and then Flamesy in about like high 10%. Everyone but Saiwu, so Vitality players are well picked in this. Tez is also getting picked a lot, so my guess is a lot of people are going Falcons and Vitality. Makes sense after what we saw in the previous event. Tez is being chosen about 44% of the time. Chopper as well, 44% of the time. You have a differential in Donk as well, like 23%. So pretty straightforward that people are backing Vitality, they're backing Falcons, and they're backing Spirit. So let's take a look at the players individually. Everyone start off with Vitality. And Vitality, they come in at the same prices, almost at the same prices as last time. I think Apex is still 200,000. He's gonna be 200,000 for a little while now. I could see. I mean, I don't think he's gonna go back down too much from that original price. But now Messi is a little bit cheaper. I think he went down 3K to 205. And now with the difference being this much and what we saw in the playoff stage, it's gonna be a lot more tougher opponents now for Vitality. So I think Messi is probably worth the 5K upgrade than Apex. So definitely go with Messi there. Saiwoo's gonna be Saiwoo. He's gonna be worth it in the long run, especially to make it to the finals. Even if they don't, like, he's still gonna be worth it at 240. Can you build a good team around him? You have to ask that question to yourself. And then Robs versus Flamesy. I believe Flamesy stayed the same price and Robs might have gone up a little bit. I've been a big Flamesy supporter and just saving your money here with Flamesy, but Robs is better in general. This could be tougher opponents, so go with Robs over Flamesy. So yeah, Vitality is still good choice, and they're still gonna be highly chosen. But I think this is where we want to go a little bit different. Next is Spirit, and Spirit, you already know who the main choices are. It's Chopper 189. He's good price. I mean, it's not a must-have, but if you want to go double up with Spirit or as a one-off, they have a great matchup against FlyQuest in the first round. They should be farmable. Magix at 204, I would not go with. He has not been consistent enough. Sontic has 207 as well. If you want to save some money and pick into Spirit, maybe Sontics. But you definitely, if you want to double up, you definitely want to do it with Shiro or Donk. Shiro 222 is a good value, but Donk is better at 235. I mean, Donk is probably going to be one of the best value. He probably is the best value right now in this whole event. He's going to put 1.4 ratings the whole way through all his matches. He has an easy first match against FlyQuest. He could even put up a 2 rating right there. And yeah, I think making a Donk lineup in this event is definitely viable. And it could be actually the best lineup possible, honestly, especially if Spirit make it all the way to the finals. But Shiro, if you want to save some money and maybe build a better overall team, he's a great option. For Mouse, I wasn't too impressed by them in that previous event. That's why I went with Falcons. And I mean, they got destroyed by Falcons on stage. It was kind of insane to see. But I mean, now they're not really being really highly chosen. They probably are kind of underrated a little bit. And so you can take a chance here. They should be one of the favorites to make it to that finals and maybe win the whole event. But I will put them around 4th in my ranking. Broland 192 as a one-off, maybe not. But as a double up, for sure, you have to kind of go with him. Sershin, I would say a boy completely. He didn't show much last event. He was actually probably his worst event of the year so far with this new lineup. Spinks has become a lot better. He's improving every event and he's being more comfortable. He was their best player last event. So I would say if you want to pair up with Brolin, Spinks will be my favorite. Jim have if you want to save some money, but he hasn't really shown that upside that someone like Spinks has. Torshi if you want consistency, but at 218 I'd rather just spend down and go with Spinks. So yeah, for Mouse, just Brolin, Spinks, maybe Jim Hat. Falcons, great event last event, and they're just gonna get better. I mean, Dexter, like the upgrade from Dexter to Monacy is just insane. They look a lot more confident. Magic's, he's a no-go. 191. He's probably gonna get kicked out of the team after the major, especially if they don't win. I think there's more better players than Magic's. I mean, Jim Hat will be an amazing upgrade, and that would make them like a team that can match Vitality. So Magic's is a no-go. Tessis will be my favorite from Falcons alongside Kixen. I mean, these two are kind of... Kixen is almost a must-have at this price. But Tessis, there was talks about kicking him out. I mean, I've been a big Tessis fan ever since Heroic days. I mean, his work in that Heroic team with Cadian, Stab, Shush, and then Javi, like, a lot of times I wouldn't notice. I mean, he gave, especially in a lot of times, like, Tessis will give space for Stab, to get those best positions, and Shoes and Tessis are just showing that they might be the core of the Heroic. Why Heroic was so great during their time at the top. So yeah, put some respect on Tessis. He's a great player, super versatile as well. Like, he can do a lot of things, and that's why I think Falcons should keep him over Magis. Magis should be the one to go, get a better anchor in there, and this team could be cooking quite easily. But yeah, Tessis and Kixen will be my favorites. You can go Nico and Monesi, but I think, I mean, if you wanted to go differentials, you definitely go with Nico or Monesi. But I think with Tessis, you get a good overall player. Falcons should have a good chance of being one of the teams to make it to the finals, winning the whole event in general. And yeah, they look good. I mean, be careful with Falcons. I know a lot of people were down on Falcons, but once they got the Monesi upgrade, they've just been looking insane. For FaZe, this might be the event where, FaZe is going to be super low owned. I mean, they haven't shown anything to us to prove that they are worth picking into. Kerrigan at 177. If you want to save even more money from Kixen, I mean, it's only 5k, but he's okay price there. Rain at 195. It's okay as a fit, maybe. I mean, here for whole face, you just pick as a fifth. Like, Brokey 187, he's been really bad. I know he's been really bad, but you always have that potential with Brokey. At 187 is kind of enticing. Elite and Frozen. Frozen I definitely wouldn't pick just because the price is too high. FaZe are not one of the clear favorites in this event. So yeah, skip on Frozen. Elite, however, 2.5. Maybe you could go Elite, but I think this event doesn't really favor FaZe. There's just 4 other teams that are way stronger. If you want to go one-off like Rain, Brokey, and Kerrigan, I don't mind. Especially if you want to spend up a lot more on some of the other teams. Pain is a no-go, but Davideos, no. I mean, Snow, definitely not Snow, but DGT, because they're Davideos and NQC, they're not bad prices. If you want to take a chance on them, maybe they, like I shown, like maybe they beat Mouse. I think it was Mouse. No, maybe they beat Falcons in the upper semifinals or something. I don't know, but probably not. FlyQuest, no, and the wildcard also no. So now we can take a look at some of the lineups I made, and an FYI, I have Tessis and Kixen and basically all of these, but you can go a lot different as well. So this first lineup, I would consider to be the safe lineup. This is probably the most chosen lineup in general. It has Messi, Robs, Chopper, Tessis, and Kixen. And if you think the highest likelihood, I mean, when I looked at I made my bracket, like Vitality and Falcons probably face each other in the semifinals if Falcons were to lose against Spirit. Or, yeah, they probably face each other. I think my strategy, well, I'll show you later on, but this could be one of the potential ones. I mean, it has great value in Tess and Kixan. You pick the most likely team. I mean, Vitality to win the event, and then you just throw in Chopper as well for him to farm against FlyQuest and just get carried by Donk along the way. And this could be probably be one of the better teams. I mean, this will probably give you a top 30% safe. That's a safe team for sure. But when we saw the percentage from all the Vitality, like people are choosing Vitality at a really high rate, and I think Vitality have looked a lot weaker. Not a lot weaker, but they have looked like they are beatable. And Falcons have gotten close. Mouse has gotten close. I mean, we haven't seen Spirit, but we haven't seen Spirit take him to that limit. But we also haven't seen Spirit at all much this year. I mean, they skipped the Melbourne event. So I think you could take a chance on going without double Vitality. And this list lineup, or even a single Vitality player, this next lineup I think will be a lineup without Vitality. And it's going to be scary, I know, but that's why you have Donk. Donk can carry you. Donk will be one of the best value players for sure. You have Kixan and Tesses as well, like it's just general. And then Chopper and Brolin. Like this lineup could get carried by Donk. It should get carried by Donk and Tessis, and then just have hopefully Chopper, Brolin, and Kixan do just enough. And it makes sense for how I did my bracket with Spirit and Falcons facing each other. However, I don't know if I like Mouse as much. And if you take a look at my bracket, Mouse will get Pain. It's not, I wouldn't say it's an easy game, but it's not a hard game. They face Vitality in the upper finals. If they win that, maybe Brolin can farm there. If they don't, they have to face probably FaZe or even probably Falcons here. That's going to be tough. So Mouse have one easy-ish game and then 2 tough games. And then they probably get another tough game. And Brolin, we see Brolin, he doesn't do too well in those tough games. That's that for them. Vitality has one easy game, one super easy game. Spirit has one super easy game, and then Falcons have a tough game. But then if you pick between Spirit and Falcons, if they both make the upper finals for the Group B, you're gonna get Spirit and Falcons in different sizes of the bracket. So you could theoretically have 4 players in the grand finals, and the Falcons will get also an easy matchup either against Pain or Wildcard. Just some thought for that, but yeah. Here, you can also upgrade Brolin to Rain. Maybe Rain can beat Brolin, maybe Rain can beat Brolin and he should beat him in rating wise, and then also, maybe in the semifinals that I have predicted for my lineup. So that could be an upgrade there. But this lineup was also calling me as well. So this lineup's a lot safer than here. It does include a Vitality player with Messi, but it has Chopper, Shiro, Tess, and Kixan. And this lineup should be a top 20% for sure. I think you could even have 4 players in the grand finals, or even 3 players for sure there, because between Spirit and Falcons, I can definitely see one of these 2 teams making it to the finals. And then if Vitality were to also be the other one, like, you'll be covered with at least 3 players from there. It's gonna be a tough fantasy, that's for sure. I'm still between these 2 teams. This team, because of the upside that Donk has, and I think I might switch Brolin to Rain. And this team is just super safe. Like, it shouldn't be too worries, and it's differential enough with like Shiro. And it kind of gives me like the backup in case of Vitality do quite well, or someone like Falcons bomb out, or someone like Spirit bomb out. It just Vitality does well in general. But those are some of my thoughts. Currently leaning 45% on this Donk lineup, and then 55% on this Shiro lineup. But my base will definitely be with Tessus and Kixen. I think for sure I'll go double Falcons and I'll go double Spirit. That's not out of the question. But yeah, I'll probably leave my team down below, the link, and you can check out as well. And I'll probably leave a comment closer to the time the deadline comes. But I'm still undecided between these two. Before we go, like if you like doing Blast also has a fantasy as well. I've been playing it, but if you want to know my quick thoughts on this, for Diamond, there's only a couple choices. I would say Saiwu, Donk, or Monasi. These are the top players in the world, honestly. These are the top 3. And they're the top players for their team. I honestly would go Donk. He's far and away the better player in his team. And I do believe in Spirit doing well in this event. Here we have as well for Platinum. I think the choices are Flamesy, Torchy, or Frozen. And here we'll go Flamesy. He can be Vitality's second to third best player. And I think Vitality do quite well in this event as well. For gold, we have Messi, Spinks are the 2 options in my opinion. They're the only 2 options you can go with. I'm gonna go with Spinks. Spinks can show that he can be the number 1 in mouse, and that should help his rating. And if you don't know how to play this, it's pretty easy. It just goes by their HLTV rank, and so it goes all 10 players involved in the match, and it ranks them 1 through 10, with number 1 getting 100 points, number 2 90, number 3 80, and it goes so on to 10. If you win, you get an extra 10 points. You get to pick a captain as well, but I'll show you that a little bit later. So yeah, you kind of want players that do well in HLTV rating and place higher up in the scoreboard. If you take both scoreboards together and just put them into one, you want the best player from that. So Spinks has the potential to be that number 1 for mouse. For silver, it's only 2 options as well. I mean 3 options actually. You can go Tessus, Gym Hat, or Apex. Tessus can be that 3rd best player for Falcons pretty consistently. Gym has the potential to be that 2 to 4, and then Apex is probably 4 to 5 in Vitality. So I'm gonna go with Gym Hat. And finally, for bronze, Chopper, I would say Chopper, Brolin, and Kixen are the options. And because I'm going to Spirit, I kind of want to double up there. So I'm going to go with Chopper. But Kixen has shown that he can be that 4th player, best player for Falcons. Chopper can also be that 4th player for Spirit over Magisk. Brolin, not really that high upside compared to these 2. So I'm going to go with Chopper. And I'm going to multiply Donk because he's quite easily going to be on top of the leaderboard, like the whole leaderboard. He's probably going to be 1 or 2 every game. Confirm. And yeah, that was just really quickly for Blast Fantasy, if you wanted to talk about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below about my thinking. I know it's going to be tough to fade Vitality, but I think this is the event to do it. However much you want to fade, that's up to you. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Let me know your teams and your thoughts about my lineups. And good luck and have fun. See you next time.